This is Ryan Watches a Movie, where we get our friend Ryan to watch a movie and tell us what he thought.
Going balls out in the lumberyard.
Watching the Grunion Pro Magi. If you're listening to this, don't even waste your time.
Hello and welcome to Ryan Watches a Movie. This is episode number 228. My name's Adam Patterson. Joining me today, back with us again, we have Kevin Rakestraw. How the hell are you?
Hello.
It's good to have you back.
I didn't know you guys were still doing this without me.
Yeah, we did it for, what, two or 3 weeks? Because
I saw him post it. I'm like, oh.
It was difficult. I didn't want to do it without you, but I didn't want... There was just nonstop scheduling issues, and I didn't want to skip that many weeks without doing it. So
Gotcha.
I was like, you know what? They're not going to be as good without Kevin, but we need to sally forth.
Luckily, I got sick last week.
Yeah, and then Ryan was sick, so...
Thank God Ryan got sick. Am I right?
We're also joined by Ryan Holes. How are you?
Not sick.
Not sick this week. Nice.
Good.
What movie do we have you watch?
The Disappointment Room.
You know when we were at the end of the year when we were going over the worst movie titles and we only had the one? I totally forgot about this movie, The Disappointments Room. This came out last year.
This is not a real movie.
The Disappointments Room. This is directed by DJ Caruso. Picked this in honor of Triple X, the return of Xander Cage, coming out this week. Same director. I have a synopsis here. A mother and her young son release unimaginable horrors from the attic of their rural dream home. This stars Kate Beckinsale.
Oh, wow.
Ryan, tell us a little bit about The Disappointments Room.
Well, first of all, it should be called The Disappointments Room.
I think
Nice.
I'm pretty sure I read like 3 reviews that did that. But how can you not, though?
It's filled with nothing but disappointments. First of all, it's only an hour 20 minutes. There's not much to it. Second of all, Kate Beckinsale and her husband and her one child moved to this area where they move into a real big house. And apparently she's an architect who is gonna eventually fix everything up for herself and her family. And right to the point, you find out that she had another child previously that died shortly after birth. And you also come to realize that the entire movie is possibly her mind playing tricks on her. She has this one kid, and eventually she finds out that back in the olden times they had a disappointment room in big houses where well-to-do families kept their mentally challenged or physically disabled children and just kept them locked up in this room. They couldn't go outside and play with anyone. No one even knew they were alive except for both the parents and sometimes a servant. They find out that this judge that lived in the house had a disappointment room, and he had a daughter that had a physical disability, so he didn't take her out in public, and eventually he killed her in this room with the hammer.
Oh,
damn.
Pretty bloody. And this girl's apparent death date is on the exact same day that her other child died. So immediately you're supposed to make that connection and they get a younger guy to work on the house, to help work on the house. And eventually he ends up digging up a grave site in the backyard, and it supposedly releases the bad spirits, and they hang him from a tree, and apparently it releases the spirit so now it can make contact with the real world, and all bad shit starts happening. And eventually, her son, she imagines the ghost try to smother her son with a pillow, and it turns out that no one's there. When the day comes into the room, they find out that all along she's losing it. Then one day, out of the blue, everything is back to normal again, and they're all adorable, and happy music plays, and that's it.
Did they all live happily ever after?
I assume so. But it's seriously like the movie is about her having this mental breakdown, and right after she eventually, in her mind, kills the spirit, everything's back to normal. Like nothing.
So she
bad
healed herself.
happened.
She healed her own mind. She
Apparently.
defeated the demons in her mind. So what was the cause of this? The loss of a child? Is that what made her eventually?
I assume that's weird.
Mm-hmm. All right. So what did you think of this overall?
It's stupid.
I've never changed.
The main character, not the guy. What is it? Mel. Do you know him?
Who?
The main character, the main guy.
Mel Rado?
Yeah.
Plays David?
Yeah.
What about Mel?
Do you know him from other movies?
I've seen some of the other stuff he was in, but I'm not really familiar
Does he
with
have
his
an
work.
accent?
Does he have an accent?
British.
He's British.
Okay, well, in this, they both cover up their accents, and they're both pretty terrible.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Of course.
Why did they do that? I thought about that.
Yeah, it was just weird casting
I think we all
choices.
have. It is odd when they do, a film where it's like it takes place in some like rural American town, and then they're like the entire cast, we're gonna make them British.
Yeah.
It's like why?
Like you couldn't find anybody that did this role. I mean, it doesn't seem like a very meaty role, Like, it doesn't look like it requires a lot from the actors.
Yeah, I guess they're just trying to get that star power.
Oh yeah.
I mean, when you got a title,
you got Mel Rado and Kate Beckinsale.
Well, I think with a movie called The Disappointments Room, you got to at least have a Kate Beckinsale in there, or at least someone of equal caliber.
The only thing that interests me about this and what you've told me is the whole idea of a disappointments room. Like, so rich people had them. Did they build a house with the intent of adding a disappointments room, or did they add the disappointments room after they had the deformed kid born?
I would imagine that they have a large house, right?
And they convert a regular room.
And these rich people have like 47 rooms in their house. It's got like 3 levels to it, and then when you have a kid that's born with a deformity, you're like, hey, that 7th study, let's turn that into a disappointments room because of this child. That way we can keep it hidden away.
I like the idea of them planning a disappointments room. Like they're looking at the,
just in
the
case
blueprints for the home, and they're like, okay, and this is going to be the study, and then this will be the disappointments room, just in case.
Never know.
We never know. We want to have it. That way, because
We're playing.
I know that you.
We're planning on having a family, so just in case.
I know you like your own space. I know you want your man cave. So we're gonna plan ahead. That way, you're not gonna lose it.
Do you think that when the rich people got together and socialized, that they talked about their disappointments room?
Maybe they took like
with each other.
They traded design tips and things for their like. Oh, you have a cage in your disappointments room. How much does that cost?
Yeah. Do you put curtains in your disappointments room, or do you just leave it unfurnished? Because it's a disappointment.
Do you have like a little?
I don't know.
A little slot in the door where you can shove food trays underneath, so you never have to actually see your disappointment, or do you have to go in and?
And this, every time they shoot the room, the little girls in there with their deformed face playing with dolls. That's all you ever see of her.
Yeah. So she was just born with a deformed face.
Yeah.
That's what's going on here. Now, Ryan, what are your thoughts on disappointment?
Yeah, because if we know
if your family was well off back in that time, that room would be
you'd be living in a disappointments room.
To me, it's sort of like Nazi room. I think
a Nazi room.
Like they're trying to hide the imperfect child.
Yeah, well, that's what aristocrats did back then.
I don't like that.
They did not like your kind, Ryan.
I don't like their kind.
I feel like every room that I enter immediately turns into a disappointments room.
Honestly, if it's not, think of rooms, really. Like, what do they have to offer?
Yeah, it's just
I would
space.
imagine that most rooms would be disappointments.
Yeah.
Unless you walk into one that's like filled with chocolate, then I'd be like, damn, this room's not a disappointment.
But to a diabetic, it probably would be.
See, yeah, it's all a matter of perspective. Yeah. That's true.
So this movie got a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Damn.
Yeah. Straight up 0. This on Metacritic, this is a 31. I was amazed. This got a wide release. I remember talking about it very briefly on the podcast when it came out, and just laughing at the name. I mean, come on, who came up with this? The Disappointments Room.
That is an.
I get that it's.
And for it to get, it's like it's a bad name, but that's like a bad VOD name.
I know.
Like, for this to get wide release, no one thought to change the title of this.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I do see that on Wikipedia, just because of it being wide release, that in its third week, it was dropped from all but 36 theaters. So 97.4% of theaters dropped it, which set a record for highest percentage of theaters dropping a film in its third week, surpassing the 97.2% by the infamous Geely.
Oh, really? I remember Gem and the Holograms. That one got pulled really quickly.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I don't know what that one was, what the percentage was, but man, that one, that might be on a whole other level.
Did we have Ryan watch that too?
We did. Yeah.
So you know what that means, Ryan? Geely, up next. 2017.
Well, actually, I almost gave him Geely last week because Live by Night came out, and I was going to give him Geely, and then we didn't end up doing a movie that week. I don't remember what I originally did give you, but at any rate, let's talk about DJ Caruso. Now, this guy at the beginning, he had some decent stuff coming out. He did The Salton Sea. Remember that one, Kevin?
Yeah.
I was a big I was a big fan of that one. Now, maybe if I watched it today, I wouldn't like it as much, but I liked that one back in the day. That came out in 2002. He did Taking Lives, which that was the one with Angelina Jolie and Ethan Hawke and Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah.
That's if I remember correctly, that was kind of like is that like a procedural?
Yeah, like a serial killer.
I think I liked that one too. He did Disturbia, which I liked. That was the one that was the kind of the Rear Window remake of sorts.
Yeah.
With Shia LaBeouf. That was good, surprisingly. And then he did Eagle Eye, which was another one with I think that was another one with Shia LaBeouf and Michelle Monaghan, which I think I liked that one too, actually.
You're all about DJ Caruso.
But then from there, it was a pretty hard drop. He did I'm Number 4, which was it was like some kind of maybe a superhero type. Aliens and their guardians are hiding on Earth from intergalactic bounty hunters. Yeah, nah. And then he did Standing Up. What's that one? I don't remember that one.
Looks like it's some sort of family movie.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that's all about. Two kids befriend each other after being left stripped nude in a lake as the victims of an immature summer camp prank.
Oh.
Okay. Doesn't look that great.
No.
And then The Disappointments Room, and then now he's doing XXX Return of Xander Cage. So
Xander Cage.
He seems like a kind of like a gun for hire. That's what he seems like to me.
Just bouncing around.
Yeah. It's rumored that he will be directing G.I. Joe Part 3.
Why are they even making that?
Because the people demand it,
We
Brian.
need more G.I. Joe.
Especially in this political climate. We need real American heroes.
I think he was doing an interview, it was either this week or last week, where he said that originally G.I. Joe 3 was going to be a G.I. Joe Transformers crossover.
Oh my god, yeah.
Combining two shit piles into one giant shit pile.
Hell yeah.
I mean, as if...
When you're a kid, did you ever want...
If you would have told me, if you go back in time and talk to 9-10-year-old Adam and you say, hey, there's going to be a live action Transformers movie, a live action G.I. Joe movie, and then guess what? There's going to be another one where they team up or cross over. I would have lost my mind. I would have been so excited.
I wouldn't have been able to.
I probably would have peed my pants. I probably would have pissed myself. But now
I think I just would have been completely just shaken to the core, just trying to like wrap my head around it.
Well, first I'd be like, you're lying. There's no way that's ever going to happen. But then you do it now, and if they did announce G.I. Joe 3 was some kind of Transformers crossover, and it would be like the exact opposite. I would like wither up and die because that those are like the last vestiges of my childhood being destroyed. It's a sad reality that we live in today.
It's gonna happen.
Wouldn't surprise me.
And they'll tie it in with like Pound Puppies or some shit.
So they'll tie it in with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Is what they're gonna do.
Because
Michael Bay. Michael Bay he's producing those turtle movies. He directs Transformers. They could easily pull all that stuff together.
Why not? Jones and Cobra Commander are gonna fight.
That'd be cool. Joseph Gordon-Levitt reprising his role as Cobra Commander. What a terrible idea that was. I think people forget that he was Cobra Commander.
Oh god.
Jesus Christ. Oh man, they really fucked that one up, didn't they? Any final thoughts on The Disappointments Room before we give you your drum roll, Ryan?
Normally, when they say Kid Beckinsale, that excites me. But there's nothing can make this any good at all. I don't even know the words to tell you how terrible it is.
Are you?
You can't even find English words.
I know. You can't form a sentence, a coherent sentence to describe how terrible it is.
It's slightly above Cat.
Oh man, slightly above Catwoman on the Catwoman scale.
Just because I know it didn't have a big budget, so it wasn't as big of a fail.
It's always about that budget.
That's what makes or breaks it for Ryan.
Yes.
What about it? Did you know that it's written by one of the guys from Prison Break? Like the main character from Prison Break?
Yeah, Wentworth Miller.
That wrote Stoker.
I don't
Were you a fan of Prison Break? And that was on Fox.
Somewhat. Yeah.
He's on where he was. I don't know if he still is on that Legends of Tomorrow show.
Oh.
He plays Captain Cold.
Gotcha.
And the guy who plays his brother in Prison Break is also on that show and plays his brother in the show. Yeah. How crazy is that?
Damn.
I
Good
had
work,
no
guys.
idea that he wrote Stoker. I have like so much more respect for that guy now. I mean, I liked him before, but that's really surprising to me. I can't believe that.
It's one of those things where I'm like, every time I see that, I'm like, that can't be right. Someone just needs to fix that.
That's
But
so odd, isn't it?
I think it's like an error that's on the internet, and no one's gotten around to fixing
Everybody
it.
just goes with it.
They're just like, yeah,
It does seem like one of those crafty Wikipedia edits, you know?
Yeah, and people are just like, let him have it.
Who wrote Stoker?
Let
Oh,
Wentworth
Wentworth Miller. Oh, we'll give that to him.
He can have it.
What about Underworld, Ryan? You excited for the new Underworld with Kate Beckinsale? Did you check that one out?
I saw one trailer. It looked alright, I guess.
You were
been sort of disappointing. First couple I like.
Yeah, I thought you were a pretty big fan of that series.
The fact that I said the first couple and the last couple, that means there are too many of them.
All right, let's go ahead and give you your drum roll on this thing. Ryan, what do you give the Disappointments Room?
1.
Oh, bang out a 1 there. It was a quick shot. The 1.
I knew before you even asked me.
Did you, as soon as the credits came up on the screen, did you throw your hands in the air and say 1?
Yes, the mom said, what the fuck are you talking about?
1. Ryan.
I just, I love that you're like, I knew beforehand before you asked me. I just assumed that's how you always did it.
Well, yeah, I hope that you have a score in mind.
I like to think of him not thinking about that at all until you ask him.
Well, you know what?
And he's like, I never thought of it. What number would I give it?
You know what?
It's not like we've been doing it for 220.
I can say that, but it'd make me slightly hypocritical because oftentimes we review movies on the regular show and I have no score in mind going into it.
That's true. I
do that a lot, actually.
I often want to give it lower than 1, but it's reserved for a cut 1. And what was the other? Did I get the other cat movie a 0.5?
A talking cat.
Yeah.
I think he did give that one a 0.5. Didn't you give one a 0? I feel like he did give one a 0.
I thought so.
Anyway, what do you think about XXX Return of Xander Cage? Nope.
What?
Didn't like the first one, didn't see the second one.
Oh, you didn't like the first one?
The third one.
I figured you'd be into the first one.
I thought you did like the first one.
No.
I'm pretty sure you did like the first one. Because I remember you talking about it and trying to get me to watch it over at your house. Because I think the first one came out when we were still living in the same city. I thought you were all about that XXX.
I would like to point out that XXX does have Donnie Yen and Tony Jaa.
Yeah, they're bad guys though. I hate it when they put these really talented martial arts actors in just the generic, hey, that's a karate guy. That karate villain where he has one cool fight and gets killed.
Yeah, that's the bummer because you know that Vin Diesel's going to beat them, which would
never happen in a million billion years.
And also, Ryan, does this appeal to you? Neymar is in it. He plays Neymar.
Oh my, are you serious?
Yeah, Neymar's in it, dude.
Neymar. He plays himself.
I'm guessing he plays himself.
I can't want to watch it just to see how good of an actor he is.
I hope it.
My guess is that he couldn't remember a character's name, so they named him Neymar.
Yeah, I hope that he doesn't play himself. I hope that he's another character that just is coincidentally named Neymar.
Yeah, because wouldn't you put himself if he's playing, a soccer player named Neymar?
You'd think so.
Just put.
Yeah, you would think so.
I hope he gets in a fight with like Donnie Yen or something. That'd be fantastic.
And Donnie Yen just rips his throat.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm not. I haven't seen any of the other Triple X movies, and I have no desire to see this one. It's just nothing about. I like action movies. I like cheesy action movies, but for some reason, this series just never did it for me. I don't know why.
Yeah, I can
I'm
see
just.
that.
And name more chugs in energy drink and does motocross.
Oh god.
Any final thoughts, Ryan, on Triple X Return of Xander Cage or
No.
or the Disappointments Room?
This, I can't say without laughing. This man's just a giant disappointment.
There we go.
Mm.
There we go.
There it is.
That's the tagline. All right, I think that's going to wrap it up for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have questions or topics, send them to podcast@filmpulse.net. You can follow us on Twitter @FilmPulseNet, @FilmPulseKevin, and @MyLegsDon'tWork. And if you have a minute, take a look at our Patreon page, patreon.com/FilmPulse, and consider helping us out by becoming a subscriber for just $1 per month. For Kevin Rakestraw and Ryan Holes, my name's Adam Patterson. We'll see you next week.
See you later.